Karen.
Yes.
You know how sometimes you stumble across an artist whose work is so peaceful, so transcendent, that you forget you even left the stove on?
Only when I'm cooking in my kitchen or looking at art in my kitchen.
Right. Well, today's guest, SΥrY, is basically a human tuning fork for inner calm. Yep. I'm serious. She's not just painting pretty pictures or humming gentle tunes. She's channeling cosmic wisdom and bottling serenity like it's a new fragrance.
Ooh, I like that.
She was born in the mystical landscapes of Norway, which, let's be honest, already seems unfairly zen. But SΥrY has turned art, music, and meditation into a spiritual toolkit for stressed out humans everywhere.
I could use that toolkit.
I know you can. Now, also stressed leaders, burnt out creatives, cosmic wanderers. She nudges them all into a state of peace you can actually feel through your speakers.
Nice.
Now, she's here to talk about how creativity, mental health, and spiritual awakenings are all woven together. And no pressure, but she might just help us all find that elusive inner peace. So if you've ever wondered what it's like to have a meditation guide who could also headline an art show and maybe even channel messages from the universe, buckle up, because SΥrY is about to show us how healing really sounds.
Woohoo.
My name is Will.
And I'm Karen.
And unlike Mulder and
We
Scully,
both want to believe.
so we've embarked on a journey of discovery.
We've talked to people deeply entrenched in the spiritual and metaphysical world.
We've thrown ourselves into weird and wonderful experiences. I even joined a coven of witches.
And wait, you joined a coven?
Yep, all in the interest of finding something
Anything.
that will prove that there's something beyond this physical,
three-dimensional world we all live in.
This is the Skeptic Metaphysicians.
Hey there, I'm Will.
And I'm Karen.
Welcome back to an episode of the Skeptic Musicians that you are not going to forget. Today's guest is much more than just an artist. She's a cosmic translator. She's a soul whisperer and a painter of peace.
I love that.
SΥrY is a visionary Norwegian artist, coach, and meditation guide. She spent her life merging creativity with emotional healing. Through her channel, The Soul Painter, on New Reality TV, she invites us to witness the birth of spiritual art and music in real time. It's an alchemical process that turns everyday stress into, well, non-existent bubbles. Whether she's coaching leaders through emotional intelligence, guiding meditations on Insight Timer, or creating stunning visuals that feel like soul mirrors, SΥrY speaks a language beyond words. It's not what she does, it's what flows through her. Her art is available to take home after it's been born on screen. Her music, it's a divine soundtrack to your inner awakening. And her message, simple. Peace is not a destination, it's a vibration, and she's here to help us tune in. Please welcome the multidimensional muse herself, SΥrY. How you doing today?
Hi, Will. Hi, Karen. So nice to see you. I'm all good, thank you. And thank you for the wonderful description and invitation. I have no words.
Okay, well, since you have no words, this has been great. Thanks for coming on the show. We'll see you later.
That was quick.
All right. SΥrY, how did you start realizing that you could channel the universe through you into these paintings that you do?
That's actually a very good question. I have stopped asking myself that after I realized that that was exactly what I was doing. Many years ago, I met this wonderful man called Tom Evans, who's also a show host on your channel. And
Yeah, we had him on the show a couple weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah. And right before we met, I was just painting and doodling and drawing for my own good to get that inner peace that you were describing so wonderfully in the beginning. And I told myself that, okay, why am I doing this? I'm doing this for giving myself some inner peace. And then I wanted to go and give that forward, as we say. So I wanted to do something together with someone else, and I was subscribing to his newsletters. And he is some kind of wizard with words, you know, and I was feeling...
And more than words.
Yeah.
And with time and with energy, with meditations, he's just a wizard, period.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so I went ahead and asked him, I approached him and said boldly, would you tell me if you ever had thought about having some illustrations for your weekly newsletters? And he said, yes, I have. Would you like to do them? And so we were co-creating, and he was telling me in that process that has been ongoing now for soon to be 8 or 9 years, I think, that you are so close to the source when you're creating. And I felt the opening in all of this. And now I have no words to describe what I'm doing, actually. So it might have been doing this all my life, but I really got this down to earth, so to speak, 8 or 9 years ago when I was illustrating the words you were sending to me. And I also do that with music and with podcasts like your show and with many other talks that I have listened to. And I find myself doodling and drawing whenever I'm listening to whatever I'm looking at on telly or on the online, like you guys now. And when I'm painting with my own music or someone else's music, it's what comes through because I'm a channel. So that's what I do. And I have been doing that all my life without knowing with my mind that that's what it was I was doing. So that's the short explanation.
So do you always channel every time you doodle or paint or draw, or is it an intentional thing? Can you just, you're just kind of having to sit down and all of a sudden it comes through? Do you have control of it? I have so many questions.
And does it hurt?
No, it does not hurt. The channeling itself doesn't hurt. But what hurts is, if you call it that, if I have a bad day, for instance, you say, being in perimenopause like I am, and many women with me have this crying spells and downfall days and, depressing feelings and stuff like that. I go to my drawing pad and I just draw it out. So I leave the feeling on the paint sketch pad or the drawing pad and help myself through that. Have I got any control of it? No, I don't think so anymore. But I can choose to copy things from drawing animals, for instance. If somebody orders something from me, I can paint a cat if that's what I want to do, and if they want to do it as well. But I'd rather not, because I let things flow through, and that's this channeling that I do. So whether it's music on my piano, guitar, on flute, or through my voice, or onto the paper, it's not what I do, like you said in the intro. It's what's coming true. And it also demands me to keep my channel wide open and clear and clean, so to speak. So it's really a physical job as well.
Wow. Now, you were a part of our new reality TV summit a few weeks ago, maybe a few months ago. And the interesting thing that you did was during each one of the presentations, you would sit and you would paint the energy of the presentation. And at the end, you'd show it. And each one was so completely different than the one before that it was astounding to watch, because it takes you all of 20 minutes, 30 minutes to create an absolute masterpiece. It's just, they're gorgeous, not to say anything of the music itself. Where do you find I don't want to say the inspiration, because we understand it's channeling through you, but how do you know what direction to go in with color and strokes? And some of them were circular, other ones were, it was just, I don't even know what the question is, but could you answer it, please?
It's a wonderful way of taking it through to humans, because I don't feel human when I'm doing this. I feel like something or someone is guiding me, or guiding my hands, even guiding my eyes. I'm also very psychic, and I'm very clairsentient, clairvoyant, clear auditive. I can sense my way through life, if you know what I mean. So that thing I can't turn off. So I'm very intuitive when I'm painting. So when I don't choose the colors are finding me. So when listening to people, I channel the energy. Like, for instance, listening to you when you talk, I get the color that I'm going to paint. If I'm going to paint this, I get the color now, and I can pick it up later. So it's not something that I deliberately do. It's something or someone leading me as a physical human being towards what I'm meant to do. And this is what I'm meant to do. So it's wonderful to have these questions of yours that make my mind go very clear again about pinpointing me exactly in the right direction towards what I'm going to do later. And I don't have a choice. I just have to do it, you know. So it's my job, but it's for
How
fun.
big? How big of a storage place do you have? You have oodles and oodles and oodles of paintings. Like how big is your garage?
You can see them behind me. There are kilos of paintings lying around because I paint, and I have nowhere to put them. But I now have my store that I sell paintings from, and it's also a lot of digital art later years. I've got this wonderful iPad as a gift for my 50th 3 years ago. So I have painted a lot on her too. I call her Aurora because she lights up the winter for me, and I got her for my 50th. From Tom, actually. So
wow.
I channel digitally and watercolors and everything. So I lost your question. It's so much fun.
So you mentioned that it's work because you have to keep yourself in shape physically and also keep your channel clean. How do you do that? How do you keep the channeling, whatever, receptor clean?
Well, for myself personally, I have been through a hell of a process, so to speak, over many years. I ran into a wall of burnt out many years ago. We call that running into the wall, hitting the wall in Norwegian. I don't know what you call it over there. But anyway, I was burnt out. So I had to leave my job as a teacher. For many years, I was working as a teacher in normal school system. And then again, that didn't work for my soul. So it started pounding my soul and my body to get down to the floor. Basically, I was very ill. I was hurting a lot, and couldn't sleep. I gained a lot of weight, and I was depressed. So, I needed to pick myself up physically first, and then started drawing for myself. So that's one thing. I need to move to get rid of everything that I don't need in the process. So that goes for sleep, that goes for exercise, to sweat out toxins and things that we surround ourselves with. Like, for instance, going into a huge group of people, that's demanding for the channeling process. So I can't do that for very long. You can call me hypersensitive in many ways. That's not all a curse. It's just as this huge gift as well that I have to take care of. Like, my whole body and soul is an instrument. So it demands me to eat special food and avoid, like, for instance, coffee and sugar, alcohol and stuff like that clogs my mind and my digestive system to allow everything to come through, to be clear and pure onto the paper and through to the piano. So exercise, sleep, and also, of course, meditation. I've been meditating for many years, and I'm a meditation guide on Insight Timer as well. And now I've come to this point that I don't need to meditate anymore, because every moment of my day is a meditation. I can literally just click my fingers and I am in this meditative state. And that is, to me, being very mindful of what I'm doing, just looking at my hand and watching it happen. As you know, I'm talking about the channeling now. So watching my hand move. And, well, you talked about the paintings from the summit being all very individual. And they are, because what I do is being very clear and very open towards receiving different things. And obviously the energies of the different speakers were very different. So, of course, the artwork should also reflect that. And I didn't start in the beginning. It took me a couple of content creators to just get started. And it was only after I myself did my show that I really started channeling the energy down to the paper. So I need to watch the recording to get the first ones down to the paper as well.
Gotcha.
But it's a job. It's what I do. So I really see myself, my physical human being, as my work here on earth, to be allowed to be in a channel, which is a gift.
All right. So not jealous at all of your mindful way of being, because it takes me a lot to actually get into that meditative state. So it's wonderful that you're able to find it, that you're able to snap into it right away. Now, speaking of the show that you have on New Reality, the show is an interesting beast because it's not a typical half-hour episodic thing. It's each one is a separate piece of music that you are painting to and things like that. So when someone's watching your show, what should someone focus on? Should they focus on what you're painting? Should they focus on the music? Or is it kind of an overall, like, talk about bubble of peace that people should just tune into? Is it more like a meditation than a show?
I would say the latter. It's more like you pick and choose whatever you feel that you need. So if you can answer for yourself what you choose when you watch, for instance, like a 5-minute video where I paint something and you listen to the music, does it vary? Or have you listened to it many times and it can pick and choose from it? It depends on which form you're in the day, right? If you're angry or tired or you can't sleep. So what you pick is, I think it's very intuitively guided by yourself and your soul in what you need that day. So if you are able to focus both on listening and watching and breathing and meditating, that's perfect. But it's all up to you. So that's why there are different lengths and also the different content of each video in my show. So I'll be also doing like interviews with people on the channel and also people I know outside the channel. And then I will be channeling them and our energy and their energy down to the paper. So it's all about what you need in the moment. And people have been telling me about my art for years that, I bought a painting of you and I can look at it one day and it gives me one thing, and the next day I don't see that at all. So it's very dependable on on what you as a spectator or listener need from me, so to speak, in that day,
Gotcha.
in that moment.
So we're going to watch you and listen to your music here in a few minutes as you paint the energy of this interview shortly. But before you do, one final question. Well, first of all, I should say that your show can be found on demand on newrealitytv.com, so people can go there and watch the episodes now. And I urge you to do that because each one is so completely different. But when you paint these pieces of art, these wonderful creations that you channel, have you ever been surprised at one of them that you finish it and you go, oh, that was not what I was expecting in any way?
Every single time, Will.
Every
single
right?
time. Because I forgot to say in the beginning, when you were asking me about how I do this, I have no control whatsoever on what comes through, on what colors I choose, because it's not me choosing them. And also the movement and the speed and the tempo and the shapes and nothing. I have no control. I'll just let it flow, and then I'll see what happens after I finish the painting. I have no idea up here in my mind. I just follow the flow. It's the way I can teach only. So I'm just as curious as you are on what this is going to look like.
I think that you end up with this really beautiful painting that you can see in so many different ways and pull so many different meanings and feelings out of. But for me, watching the process, I think, is my favorite part. I paint myself. Well, not myself, but I also paint. That sounds weird. But
right.
And I was watching. I noticed that is it watercolor that
Yes.
you paint with, and the wet on wet technique. So you watch the colors just kind of spread into each other, and it's like little stories and little lives populating the page. It's just beautiful.
And like the first time I stumbled on SÍrJ's video, the very first one, I just wanted to watch it. They submit their shows and we take a look at them, make sure that everything is copacetic or whatever. I started watching the first one from hers, and I was only intending to watch maybe 10, 15, 20 seconds of it. I watched the whole thing. I couldn't stop watching. I was so caught up in it.
And there's a couple that you can you want to stick around to see how it ends, but also you can just get what you need out of a little chunk of it. If you don't have a lot of time, you can just kind of pop in and go, oh, okay, and then pop back and then come back later to see the final result.
But fair warning, they are addictive.
They are. You'll get sucked in.
You will get. These are definitely suck-inables for sure. So, having said that, I think it might be interesting to have the audience start to get a feel for it. So whether you're watching this right now or you're listening it only, you'll get something out of it, because if you're only listening, you'll hear SÍrJ's music But if you're watching it, you'll get both the music and the painting as she does it. So if you're only listening, we suggest you go watch the video. And if you're watching, we suggest you listen to the audio also, so you get a different experience from each one. So, SΥrŷ, if you would be so kind, we would love for you to show us what does Zal look like. And in the meantime, the audience, get ready for a meditative experience.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Wow.
That's more than it. That's incredible.
Yeah,
to
but
watch you
I meant
create.
nothing more is coming through, so that is the channeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now I feel like your show is gone out of my body, and
Oh, wow.
it's out here. It's a physical
Wow.
sensation to it as well. So it's like I've been working out on some level.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was really curious about this before we began here today. So obviously about this expression, and also how would this be? So that kind of really nerves, but now it's all calm. That's what joy
good.
can do
Great.
for you.
Yeah.
So once you finish and you're looking at this painting and the colors and the shapes and all of these things that have been channeled in these messages, so I have two questions. The first question is it just feelings that are channeled, or are you actually hearing, blue, brown, gold?
I can't hear the colors. I feel the colors. I feel
Okay.
also my hands going towards the colors, but I can't hear the colors per se. I feel or taste even the direction in which I'm going to be led. So I don't think, and I don't
It's just a knowing.
feel. No, it's, yes, that's the right word that I tend to forget. I know.
My next question was, once you're finished and you're looking at the painting and you're seeing the shapes and the colors and the movement, can you then interpret that, or is that just like, here's what it looks like?
That was going to be my question when we finished.
That's also a very good question. When I see art or I hear words, I get a feeling. So, like, when I said, this is it, when I stopped painting, I was led to pull my brushes back and put the cap on my glasses and stop painting. And that's all about the feeling. I listen for a feeling, It's, like I said, it's not what I do. It's what comes through. So I just know when to stop and when to start. And when I look at it, it's all very peaceful. Like, all I do is to create inner peace. Like you experienced, Will, when you couldn't stop watching my first video that you watched.
Yeah.
So that's my goal. And that's what I'm here to do.
Yeah, you did a great job with it. Yeah.
Thank you.
So then, I guess the question of what did you see in the painting after the fact? It doesn't really work because it's just the energies that flow through you, right?
It's more about what you see in it afterwards, really, that makes the difference for me. Because I just feel that it's out there. It's like a baby, when you give birth, Karen. Oh, it's beautiful, and I feel so much love towards it, and it's wonderful, and it's precious, and it's out there. So there's nothing more to do. So it's all up to you.
Got it. Yeah.
So then maybe we could take this to someone who knows symbolism of colors, and get an interpretation of what colors mean, and that might help us to maybe see what she was pulling through.
That would be very cool. Yeah, forget to do that. So when you channel these paintings, these pieces of art, are you of late getting any kind of messages that seem to be coming through you for humanity at all?
When I paint in general, you mean, or did you mean specifically for the summit?
No, in general. In
general. I feel that, like you said so beautifully in the introduction of my art, and that the message I'm here to do is cosmic bound. It's for everyone, and it's also the message I bring is bigger than me, bigger than my country, bigger than every country, bigger than the world. It's universal, and it's like you say, it's magic, but then again, not, because we are magic. When we sit here and can actually speak to each other across continents, and time doesn't exist. And it's just like me telling everyone to just be peaceful, because that's where we came from, and that's where we're returning to. So be at peace when you're here as well, and be loving of each other. That is the message that runs through everything. And obviously, if people need some healing from my art, then they will get it, because it's embedded with all my energy and with all my intentions of this inner peace that I'm here to give.
Wow. Do you find yourself, are you always at peace? Like, do you just go around walking in your Norwegian Zen garden all day long?
Well, thank you for asking. I didn't always feel peaceful. I was, for many years, I was carrying like this hell inside of my head. I was very good, a master at overthinking, which is all the head actually is here to do for us. It's here to tell us, you do it, that's wrong. You have to do something about that. You have to compare yourself to everyone else. You have to do that. You must do that. You should do that. Why hasn't you done that? And it stresses us all up. So I lost the question again, because this is not what it's all about. It's just being. It's just being. Being, really. That is the answer. I have also found that breath is my key to everything. because I wasn't good at breathing either during those hellish years up in my mind. I was breathing very short and also then hence overthinking. So those two are very deeply connected. And I've learned the hard way how to not do it. And also then now everything I can say is that despite that every emotion and feeling comes and goes, deep down inside, the core of me is always peaceful like the eye of the storm. But then again, it can rock like hell outside. And I am steady and standing steadfast in my inner peace. So I guess that is some other discussion as well. But it's all about being present in the moment, and the moment is always now. So if that helps you and everyone at all, that's what I'm here to do.
So for those stressed out leaders and individuals that you work with, do you teach them how to channel the artwork through them, or how do you help them?
I have created this drawing it out program that will help in deeper levels without them actually knowing in their day-to-day mind. It goes like this, that you go through various simple drawing techniques in combination with listening to my instructions and watching what you're doing on the paper, and also listening to music. You have a triangle that helps you let go of overthinking, like I explained at the beginning. And then you hear at the end of the 12 weeks, you reach this inner peace point, and you have a new view of your life and your future and your past. So I guide them through my drawing techniques and also meditation and breathing and all the things that I learned for myself, because I've found that if I can help me, I want to help others do the same. And it's really, really useful.
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
Wow.
If someone wanted to take that course, what's the best way for someone to do that?
It's best for them to connect through email to reach me, SΥrÿ@SΥrÿOpli.com. But I am on social media, and I'm mostly everywhere. So I'm also on your new reality TV. So easy to find me.
Right. So every once in a while, not every once in a while, almost always, of late, when we have a guest come on our show, we have a couple of curveball questions we throw at them just to see what comes out. So if you're open to it, we'd love to ask you a couple of those. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
No worries.
All right.
Boy.
So here's my curveball question for you. The first one. If you could paint anyone's soul, living, dead, or fictional, who would it be, and what colors do you think would dominate their canvas?
What came to me first was Picasso, because he's really fascinating. And his art has been fascinating me for years. I also know that I can easily tune into his art and his soul, his painting soul when I paint. So I think I would have painted him. And I really don't know what colors, because he used a lot of colors during periods of his artistic life. And I also touched on cubism and simple painting, pen drawing like I do. So I feel it's very close to my own expression, really. So maybe something that looks similar to whatever I painted during the summit or for this show even now.
All right.
Yeah.
We're in good company.
Yes.
All right. The last curveball question for you. If your art studio was secretly a portal to another direction, which honestly it probably is anyway, right? What would someone find on the other side after stepping through your latest painting?
That is a marvelous question. I think that they would find that they were able to do whatever they want to do, really, with their life after being in here with me. Because that's what I've been told I do to people whenever they just are in my presence or talk to me or listen to my music or something happens. I don't know what it is, SΥrÿ, they told me. So most like you said when you listen to the first, that is the portal. I am the way I've been told, and I am the portal my art is a portal and my music is a portal to transport the listener and the viewer into another realm of something untouchable, invisible and untouchable.
Peace.
Yeah. Peace.
Very cool. All right. I want to step through that portal.
Yeah. Welcome.
So you are an insight timer coach. You are a celebrity in New Reality TV. You are a channel. You are a coach altogether. But when you're just SΥrY, how do you personally recharge your own spirit?
I go to nature. I go to water, to the ocean. I go for walks, a lot of walks where I just listen to the trees and the birds. And I love to play with the colors and my drawing gear just for fun, just to draw out of me whatever I'm carrying around. But mostly staying outdoors, lighting a bonfire, sitting alone by the fireplace in the living room and just having a cup of tea, just breathing, listening to music. It's mostly that everything I do is just connected to whoever I am. So it is to do what I do, but just for me, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. It's just being close to nature and trees to get rooted, because I tend to fly away if I don't feel rooted to the earth. Yeah. But I'm very much connected to Mother Earth. Yes, we do.
Don't we all? Yeah. and I'm sure living in the beautiful land of Norway really helps a lot with that, because it is
gorgeous.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, as always, to be in your company. So thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for painting the energies of our show. It was very fascinating. And thank you for being a content partner in New Reality TV, because your stuff is so different than anything anyone's ever seen before. So I would urge you to, A, go to New Reality TV and check out her show, but B, reach out to SΥrY if it calls to you to get that recharge, get that course, because I think in this day and age, this world, we all need a little bit more SΥrY in our lives.
Absolutely. Or even just to have her paint your energy, if you're wondering what that looks like.
That's true too. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, SΥrY, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me. It's been a gift and a gem to meet you guys. And thank you so much for creating the opportunity and the New Reality TV. Thank you.
Oh, well, it's been our pleasure, absolutely. Thank you so much for coming.